Mr. Bodie, you're charged with use or possession of drug paraphernalia and possession of methamphetamine. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender's office to represent you?
Oh, yes, please.
I provisionally appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Also, pretrial services advises that Mr. Bodie has an open case on case number 2026 CF 5404 that he is out on bond on. But as to these new charges, I have reviewed the arrest report. I do find probable cause for all of the charges. As to the new charges, I'm going to require pretrial release with bail's condition of pretrial release. Your bail is set at $7,000 on the methamphetamine charge and $1,000 on the drug paraphernalia charge. Once you are released, you must report immediately to Pretrial Release Services Office in person in Bartow at 1745 South Highway 17. Thereafter, you must report by phone every week, twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and you must submit to random urinalysis that you're required to pay for. You have an arraignment set for July the 28th at 8:15 a.m. Is there anything anyone wants to tell me about the open case?
Yes, Your Honor. State would request a Parker hold on the open case.
All right. The state is requesting that I revoke your bond in the open case and hold you no bond pursuant to Parker v. State, and that is what I'm going to do. So your bond is revoked in case number 2026 CF 5404, and you're held no bond pursuant to Parker v. State. Does Mr. Bodie have the public defender appointed on that case?
Yes.
And the public defender's office represents you on that case already. Thank you, sir. Moving on to Gary Boyce. All right, Mr. Boyce, you're charged with possession of methamphetamine, resisting or obstructing an officer without violence, keeping a public nuisance structure for drug activity, and use or possession of drug paraphernalia. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender's office to represent you?
Yes, ma'am.
I provisionally appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I have reviewed the arrest report. I do find probable cause for all the charges. In this case, I'm going to require a pretrial release with bail as the condition of pretrial release. Your bail is set at $5,000 on the keeping the public nuisance charge, $5,000 on the methamphetamine charge, and $1,000 on each of the other charges. Once you are released, you must report immediately to Pretrial Release Services Office in person in Lakeland at 930 East Parker Street. Thereafter, you must report by phone every week, twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You also must submit to random urinalysis that you're required to pay for. And you have an arraignment on this case on July the 28th at 8:15 a.m. Thank you, Mr. Boyce.
Thank you.
Next case is Jamarian Carter. Sir, you're charged with violation of community control in Polk County case number 2024 CF 9209. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender's office to represent you?
No, ma'am. I have a private attorney.
The clerk's office is just checking to see if that's what their records show.
Okay.
And what is it? I just want to clarify this gentleman's name.
It's Jamarian Carter.
It's Carter.
All
Here it is.
right, so since apparently you don't have a private attorney appointed on this case at this time. You may have previously had one, but they're not on the case at this time. Do you want me to appoint the public defender's office to represent you? Are you going to hire your own attorney or represent yourself?
Hire my own attorney.
All right. You can, if you change your mind, you can certainly ask the assigned judge to consider appointing the public defender if that's your desire, okay?
Okay.
All right. I have reviewed the violation of community control warrant and the affidavit of VOCC. I do find probable cause for the charge. Right now, your bond status is no bond, and you'll have a hearing on this case on July the 21st at 8:30 a.m. in the F7 division. Thank you, Mr. Carter. Next case is Ricky Allen Kofkin.
Ma'am.
So you're charged with attaching unassigned tag and an unregistered motor vehicle. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case?
No.
Are you going to hire your own attorney or represent?
I'll defend myself.
All right. And how far did you go in school, sir?
And to high school.
All right. And you feel confident representing yourself in these matters?
Yes, I do.
And you understand that the state will be represented by an attorney, and that would put them at an advantage if you're not an attorney. Do you understand that?
I understand it.
All right. In this case, I have reviewed the arrest reports and the citations, and I do find probable cause for the charges. I'm going to require straight bond and on both charges on each count in the amount of $250 per count. You also have an arraignment set on this case for July the 10th at 8:30 a.m. in the M5 division. Thank you, sir. All right, moving on to Tiffany Davis.
Yeah.
So you're charged with petty theft with 2 or more prior convictions, tampering with physical evidence, and another charge of petty theft with 2 or more prior convictions.
Your Honor, I will have comments to make on this case when you're ready.
Okay. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes.
I provisionally appoint the public defender to represent you. Yes, Ms. Goins?
Yes, on Mr. Davis's case, with regards to the tampering, they were basing that upon, in the affidavit, on, I guess, it was during an alleged theft, and it was just a matter of concealing the items that were supposedly being taken. And it seems that it's secondary to it's actually pursuant to the actual theft or attempted theft, but it doesn't fit the definition of what would be tampering. Otherwise, every theft case where something was put in a bag or maybe hidden on the person would be treated also as an additional tampering charge. I think it's an unnecessary charge, and it's not supported by an idea of trying to somehow do away with the evidence. It's just commensurate with the theft.
What says the state?
Your Honor, state would argue that there is enough to at least support probable cause for the tampering in this case. While what says regarding putting something in a bag is true, Your Honor, that doesn't necessarily apply to this specific fact pattern and the fact that this was a concealed bottle towards the exit. There's nothing indicating that he placed in the bag. Rather, Your Honor, state would argue that this affidavit lays out that he attempted to conceal the bottle.
The empty bottle.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. After reviewing the facts of this specific case, I do find probable cause for all of the charges. And I'm going to require pretrial release with bail's condition of pretrial release. Your bail is set at $6,000 on each of the petty theft charges and $5,000 on the tampering charge. Once you are released, you must report immediately to pretrial release services office in person. Where do you want me to tell them to report to? All right. Once you are released, you must report immediately to pretrial release services office located in Lake Alfred at 200 Government Center Boulevard. Thereafter, you must report every week by phone, twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You're prohibited from having any contact with Lowe's stores, and you must stay at least 500 feet away from the event location. Additionally, you have a arraignment set for July the 28th at 8:15 a.m. Thank you, sir. Moving on to Gerald Driggers. Mr. Driggers, you're charged with trespass on property other than structure or conveyance. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes, ma'am.
I provisionally appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I have reviewed the arrest report. I do find probable cause for the charge. In this case, I'm going to require a straight bond in the amount of $1,000. And the condition of the bond is that you are prohibited from having any contact with Sunshine Petro 2 LLC, and you must stay at least 500 feet away from the event location. You have an arraignment set for July the 10th at 8:30 a.m. in the M5 division. Thank you, Mr. Driggers. Next case is Clarence Uline. Sir, you're charged in this case with petty theft with 2 or more prior convictions, 6 counts of that. Would you like for me to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you on these matters?
Yes, ma'am.
I provisionally appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. I have reviewed the arrest reports. I do find probable cause for all of the charges. In this case, I'm going to require pretrial release with bail's condition of pretrial release. Where'd you like it? Once you are released, you must report to Pretrial Release Services Office in Bartow immediately upon your release in person at 1745 South Highway 17. Thereafter, you must report by phone every week, 2 times a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You're prohibited from having any contact with Walmart stores. Additionally, you must stay at least 500 feet away from the event location, and your bond is set at $6,000 on each count. You have an arraignment set in this hearing for July the 28th at 8:15 a.m. Thank you, sir. Next case is Bradley Evans. Mr. Evans, you're charged with operating a motorcycle without a license, driving without a valid driver's license, possession of methamphetamine, use or possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of cocaine, and unregistered vehicle. Would you like for me to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you?
Yes, ma'am.
Originally appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. I have reviewed the citations and the arrest report. I do find probable cause for the charges. In this case, I'm going to require pretrial release with bail's condition of pretrial release. Your bail is set at $5,000 on the methamphetamine charge, $5,000 on the cocaine charge, $1,000 on the drug paraphernalia charge, and $250 on each of the remaining charges. Once you are released, you must report immediately to Pretrial Release Services Office in person in Bartow at 1745 South Highway 17. Thereafter, you must report by phone every week, 2 times a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You must submit to random urinalysis that you're required to pay for, and you have an arraignment set for July the 28th at 8:15 a.m. Thank you, sir.
What was that? What was that date?
July the 28th.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to Marquis Everett. Marquis Everett.
What's the next one?
I couldn't hear.
Go to the next
Go
one.
to the next one. All right, I'll put that as a recall. Let's go to Michael Gaylor. No?
Unable to appear.
Oh, okay. We'll bring him back tomorrow if he's available, please.
Who is that?
Gaylord. All right, going on to Jimmy. I'm going to have to do this one. Okay. The next one is Jimmy Learl Goodwin.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Hold on one second. We're having some computer problems. Vincent, can you go back down to the first page? Okay. And can I see the recommendation? The recommendation. All right, so you're charged in this case with possession of cannabis not more than 20 grams, possession of drug paraphernalia, and driving while license suspended or revoked. Would you like for me to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you?
I should already have an attorney.
Oh, is this Mr.?
It is. This is a bring back from yesterday.
This is Mr.
Oh,
Jimmy
okay, so
L.
sorry, I was not aware that this was a bring back because I wasn't here yesterday. But-
Yes, Your Honor.
So was the Public Defender's Office already appointed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah,
All
and
right. And I,
also, well, this is according to Ms.
Hold on,
Smith.
how's this a bring back? What is his first appearance?
Yes.
sorry, everyone stop talking. Everyone stop talking.
No, I wasn't here yesterday. I was sitting in my mom yesterday.
Okay, hang on. Stop. Let me ask the clerk.
Our note says he was unavailable and to bring back tomorrow.
Okay, so it is a bring back. It was, you were unavailable, but they did have court, so everybody is right. You're right in that you say you weren't here. The attorneys are right because they know that this is technically a bring back.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and the public defender's
had to make
office
sure.
has not been appointed. So we've got that all sorted out. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender's office to represent you, or are you going to hire your own attorney or represent yourself?
I should have an attorney.
The clerk's office is saying they do not see one appointed.
I'll say so. Yeah.
He just hired for him.
I hear someone talking and I don't know who it is.
That's my mama.
All right, so is Mr. Goodwin's mom on the line?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you please identify yourself?
My name is Haley Goodwin.
Okay, and Ms. Goodwin, have you hired private counsel for Jimmy Goodwin?
Yes, his name's he's got John Lynch.
You said John Lynch?
Yes.
Okay, and let me ask Mr. Goodwin, at least the notice of appearance isn't showing yet, and it's probably so new that it's just not showing in the system. But Mr. Goodwin, do you want to proceed forward with this hearing today, or do you want to be brought back tomorrow and you can have an opportunity to call Mr. Lynch to have him appear for the first appearance hearing?
Tomorrow.
What you think, mama?
Well, no,
Tomorrow.
everybody stop. What I'm not going to do is let parties communicate with each other, okay? So, Mr.
Yes, ma'am,
Goodwin.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Sorry.
I just don't want y'all to get in trouble. So, Mr. Goodwin, how would you like to proceed?
Tomorrow, if so.
At your request, we'll bring you back tomorrow, and you need to make sure that you contact Mr. Lynch and let him know that you'll be at first appearance tomorrow so he can appear, okay? And I'll be
Yes, ma'am.
the judge tomorrow, so I'll see y'all tomorrow, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good day.
Y'all too. Moving on to Alexander Gray. Alexander Gray. And after that is going to be Jonathan, I'm going to spell it Guinan. All right, Alexander Gray, you're charged with possession of cannabis not more than 20 grams, use or possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of methamphetamine, and written electronic threats to kill or bodily harm another. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you? Are you going to hire your own attorney or represent yourself?
Public defender, please.
I provisionally appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I have reviewed the arrest report, the arrest warrant, and the complaint affidavit. I do find probable cause for all of the charges. In this case, I'm going to require pretrial release with bail's condition of pretrial release. Your bail is set at $15,000 on the written threats charge, $7,000 on the methamphetamine charge, and $1,000 on each of the remaining two charges. Once you are released, you must report immediately to Pretrial Release Services Office in Bartow in person at 1745 South Highway 17. Thereafter, you must report by phone every week, 3 times a week on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. You are prohibited from having any contact with the victim in this case. You may not contact the victim directly or indirectly. You may not contact the victim in any manner whatsoever. You must stay at least 500 feet away from the victim's residence, vehicle, place of employment, and school at all times. Furthermore, you may not use, possess, or furthermore, you may not use, possess, or carry any firearms, guns, weapons, ammunition, or knives. And you also must submit to random urinalysis that you're required to pay for. I'm going to pause for just a moment. We keep getting a ping, 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 ping from our teams, so it's a little distracting. So I don't know if that's comments, but I am not monitoring comments because we have a lot going on. So I would ask people not to submit any comments, please. All right, thank you. Additionally, you have an arraignment set for July the 28th at 8:15 a.m. Thank you, sir. Moving
Judge,
on.
So we get Everett, he's back.
Yep, let's go back. Marquis Everett. All right, Mr. Everett, it looks like you're here because you have a capias in Polk County case number 2026 MM4447 for failure to appear at arraignment. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender's office to represent you?
You say arraignment, what was the charges?
It's illegal possession of a shopping cart or a laundry cart. Would you
But I
like for
could've-
me to, sir,
I
would you
thought
like?
Gil Cologne had waived my appearance to go to court. He went to court for me.
Hold on one second. Does he have Gil Cologne on that case? The clerk is saying you do not. Regardless, there is a capias out for you. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you, or are you going to hire your own attorney or represent yourself?
You can appoint the public defender for me, but
All right, I provisionally appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I have reviewed the capias. I do find probable cause for the charge. Per the capias, which is the judge who issued the capias, it's a little different than normal. That judge set your bond status at no bond, and this is per the capias. It's not.
say that again. Hold on. A no bond for a misdemeanor charge?
No, sir, you're not listening to me and you're interrupting me. So I did not say no bond. I said you have capias. And I said that judge did something a little bit different, and I was beginning to tell you what it was.
Yes, ma'am.
And because it's a capias, it's not a warrant, but it's a capias, I cannot change the terms of it. So I'm going to tell you directly what the judge is requiring. That judge has your bond status set at $500, and it says, if the defendant posts bond, the defendant remains on same pretrial release conditions as previously imposed. So that is how that judge did it, and because it's a capias, I cannot change that.
Can I ask you a question? When you say previously imposed, what that's trying to say, I was out on bond or something?
It says that you had previous pretrial release conditions is what
No.
that judge said. And I'm not getting into that. I'm not going to argue it. I can only tell you
Something
that
ain't right with
that's
that, because I left out of here time served.
okay. Regardless, that is what that judge is requiring, and that is what where we're at. You have a hearing set for this case on July the 10th in the M5 division. Thank you, sir. And I appointed the public defender to help you. So if you have questions or defenses about that, you can certainly have them bring that forward, okay? Thank you, Mr. Everett.